No one saw it coming like this, not even the experts. In a race dominated by veterans for over a decade, it was the 20-year-old TinaClayton who snatched the crown with a jaw-dropping personal best at the 2025 Jamaican National Trials. From the moment the gun went off, Tina exploded out of the blocks like a bullet, holding her form with precision and leaving the stadium in stunned silence before erupting into wild cheers. She didn't just win, she dominated. Crossing the line ahead of titans like Shericka Jackson and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, Clayton clocked a time that instantly catapulted her into global Olympic contention. Commentators were scrambling, social media melting. Jamaica, long the epicenter of sprinting greatness, just witnessed the rise of its next queen, and the old guard had front-row seats. The energy in Kingston's National Stadium shifted in real time. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement, a warning, and a dream realized all at once. And as her name echoed through the stadium, one thing was clear. This was the beginning of a new era. But just as Tina reached her peak, another legend stood on the brink of her final bow. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, the face of Jamaican sprinting for nearly 2 decades, crossed the line in 3rd place, behind a rising star and in front of a stadium that knew what this moment meant. The pocket rocket had hinted all season this might be her last dance. And now, with tears in her eyes and thousands roaring her name, she stood on that track not as a winner, but as a legend. Her start was classic Shelly, explosive and focused, but the top-end gear that once destroyed fields wasn't there this time. Still, her presence was overwhelming. As she stepped off the track, emotions overtook the air. Fans stood, many crying, others chanting, all united in honoring the greatest sprinter Jamaica has ever produced. In her post-race interview, she didn't confirm retirement, but her words carried the weight of closure. "I've given this sport everything, and I'm leaving with peace." A 3rd-place finish in her final trials might not sound headline-worthy until you realize what she's done, what she's meant, and how gracefully she passed the torch. But while Jamaica celebrated its queen's farewell, the debate was already beginning. Was TinaClayton now the new sprint queen of the island? Barely minutes after the finish line was crossed, the conversation took over every corner of the internet. Is TinaClayton now the face of Jamaican sprinting? Her winning time wasn't just a personal best. It was fast enough to shake the world rankings and put her directly in the conversation for Olympic gold. Commentators praised her technique, her calm under pressure, and the fact that she just outran 2 of the fastest women alive. On Twitter, the hashtags Queen Tina and Clayton era were trending within an hour. Pundits and fans alike began drawing comparisons to when Shelly-Ann burst onto the scene in 2008. Same dominance, same youth, same fearless energy. But not everyone is convinced. Critics argue one race doesn't make a dynasty, and that Olympic pressure is an entirely different beast. Still, it's impossible to ignore the numbers. Tina's acceleration was world-class, her form held from drive phase to finish, and her confidence, unshakable. For many Jamaicans, it wasn't just her speed but her swagger. Cool, unbothered, electric, that screams superstar. But as her fame skyrockets, so does the pressure. And with Shericka Jackson falling short, even more eyes are on Tina to lead the charge. So what really happened to Shericka? She was supposed to win. The reigning world champion, the Olympic threat, the favorite in nearly every analyst's book, Shericka Jackson came into the national trials with the expectations of a nation on her shoulders. But instead of cruising to victory, she struggled. Her reaction time was solid, her stride strong, but something didn't click. She finished outside the top 2, sparking immediate concern and speculation. Was she holding back strategically? Was it injury? Fatigue? Some believed she looked tight through the middle phase of the race, lacking her usual flow and top-end dominance. Her post-race comments were brief. "I'll be ready when it matters." But they didn't silence the noise. Social media lit up with conspiracy theories and disappointment. Some fans defended her, citing a known strategy to peak for global events, not trials. Others weren't convinced, worried this might be a warning sign of deeper issues in her training camp. Whatever the case, one thing's certain. With Fraser-Pryce possibly out and Clayton rising fast, Shericka can no longer afford missteps. And if she wants redemption, she'll have to bring her best on the world stage. Meanwhile, the numbers don't lie. So what exactly did that race look like, frame by frame? From the very first millisecond, TinaClayton's performance was a masterclass in sprinting execution. Her reaction time? Sharper than any other finalist. By the 20-meter mark, she was already half a stride ahead. Her transition phase, the part where many young sprinters lose momentum, was flawless, pushing her into the lead while maintaining mechanical efficiency. Unlike others who tensed under pressure, Tina remained loose, powerful, and lightning fast through her top-end phase. In contrast, Fraser-Pryce's start was vintage, explosive and low, but by 60 meters, it was clear her finishing gear wasn't at the level it used to be. Shericka Jackson, meanwhile, faltered during her drive and appeared to struggle with her posture in the final 20 meters. Tina surged ahead in the last third, separating herself with clean knee lifts and a beautiful arm drive. The margin wasn't massive, but it was decisive. Her execution wasn't just good, it was elite. Coaches watching the replay were stunned. She didn't luck into this win. She earned it technically, physically, and mentally. And as the stadium rewatched her form on the big screen, the roar only grew louder. But the real goosebumps moment? It wasn't the finish line. It came when Fraser-Pryce took the mic. You could feel it in the air. After the race, when Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce stood with mic in hand, the National Stadium in Kingston fell silent, as if the entire country held its breath. Her voice cracked, but her words were clear. "I've run this race so many times. Today, I ran it for all of you. My family, my fans, my country." The crowd erupted. It wasn't about a medal anymore. It was about memory, legacy, and gratitude. From children with Jamaican flags painted on their cheeks to longtime fans who'd followed her career since Beijing 2008, everyone knew they were witnessing history. Even TinaClayton stood respectfully behind her, fully aware that her rise was happening on the shoulders of a legend. Fraser-Pryce thanked her coaches, her rivals, and even her critics. "I'm not sure what's next," she said, "but whatever it is, I know I gave this sport my all." Tears flowed freely in the stands. Coaches, reporters, athletes, everyone stood. It was the perfect ending. But beyond the emotion, there was also a question ringing in the air. What happens to Jamaica's Olympic hopes now that one queen may be stepping down and another is rising? With Fraser-Pryce possibly out and Shericka Jackson under scrutiny, all eyes are now on TinaClayton to carry the torch. Her winning time at the trials doesn't just make her the Jamaican national champion. It puts her squarely in the conversation for an Olympic medal. Coaches are already recalculating team formations, anchor strategies, and relay orders. If Tina maintains this form, she could very well become the youngest 100-meter medalist for Jamaica since the golden era began. But the pressure is immense. She'll be facing veterans like Sha'Carri Richardson, Julian Alfred, and Marie-Josée Tallou on the world stage. Athletes with far more experience and mental toughness under Olympic lights. Still, every dynasty starts somewhere. Elaine Thompson-Herah, Fraser-Pryce, Veronica Campbell-Brown. They all had a breakout moment, and this could be Tina's. The biggest concern now is consistency. Can she replicate this peak on the global stage, under the brightest lights and the heaviest expectations? Time will tell. But one thing is certain, Jamaica's hopes are no longer pinned to a single veteran. They're being carried by a rising storm. And it all leads to the final takeaway of the night, a coronation and a farewell.